Hey everybody, welcome back Behind the Bar with me this evening. Tonight we're checking out a beer I'm really excited to drink. We are checking out Toppling Goliath pseudoSue Pale Ale. I have reviewed pseudoSue Pale Ale on my channel before, but this is double dry hopped pseudoSue. A recent release. This was bottled, I think I'm reading this right, 5/24, so we're just a couple weeks into this, and this was sent courtesy of my man Erik Wood from Blackboard Beer Reviews. I will link to the channel below. He's the man. Thank you very much. I know this was hard to get, but he helped me out in getting a bottle, so I will check it out for you guys this evening. Let's get this poured out into a glass. Don't have a proper Toppling Goliath IPA glass, but I do have my Morning Delight glass, so I figured that was good enough for this evening. But I loved OG pseudoSue. That beer is freaking fantastic. But as has been discussed many times, a few times on my channel, Toppling Goliath kind of farmed a lot of the canning stuff in their big beers like Dorothy, Rover Truck, this to other places, Brew Hub, and recently to another brewery, I believe, as well. And it hasn't been the same. People keep saying, oh, do a blind taste. Well, I've done blind tastes with a growler of Iowa Pseudo and a can of Pseudo, and it wasn't even close. So I've heard that this is back to like what OG pseudoSue was, because back like 2 years ago, this beer was freaking crushing it. I loved this beer, and then it's just kind of that toppling inconsistency that I talk about occasionally kind of caught up to it. And then they had it done at another brewery. So back to this one. This pours out how I remember OG Sue. Hazy. I'm getting very little light through this. Pours out just kind of a nice straw golden color. A nice yellow orange there. Looks frigging beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful in the glass. About a finger and a half of fluffy head, some big white bubbles, but just a nice fluffy carbonated head. Already getting some glass lacing there. Looks freaking killer in the glass. Let's see what she smells like. Wow. Holy shit. That's OG Sue right there. That's OG. It's even really similar to the nose on King Sue. So I didn't say it, but for those that don't know, pseudoSue is a single hopped Citra Pale Ale coming in at just, I think it's like 5.6% ABV. I'm sorry, I should have looked that up. Toppling screws with me and they don't put ABV on bottles, which I hate, which I think is dangerous actually, but they don't. So this is going to be a double dry hop version of that, so even more Citra hops, which I frigging love Citra hops, and on the nose it smells like that. This is huge Citra. Pineapple, tangerines, peaches, big mango. Like juicy, overripe peaches and mango. Same with pineapple. There's a little bit of dankness there, a little bit of those bready malts. Picking up a little bit of sweetness, maybe like the yeast characteristic of this beer. Yeah, just huge. I mean, just aromatic, huge pop of tropical fruits, big citrus, just everything you want out of a beer like this. One of the best noses on a pale ale I've ever smelled. That's ridiculous. I can't wait to dive in and taste this, Erik. Thank you very much, sir. Cheers, everybody. Big flavor. Big flavor. It's actually maybe a smidge colder than I wanted to drink this, but regardless, those huge tropical fruits and citrus are coming out. Pineapple for days, peaches, mangoes, tangerines, oranges, passion fruit. But there's a really nice kind of bitterness and dankness to this beer right in the middle of the mouth and a little bit up front. I'm getting a little bit of bitterness on the back of my tongue after I swallow. Real nice drying effect. It dries out and finishes really super nice. This is killer stuff. Pick up it's a pale ale, so I'm definitely getting a little bit of the malt presence of this beer. It's like a nice crackery, like bready, like that Hashtag Ironkins bread, which is what I get in a lot of these beers. Malt on it for sure. But this is just a huge pale ale. I mean, so much flavor in this. This is killer. Wow, that's really good. I'm trying to think what else to say. Mouth feels great. Medium. I mean, medium. It's not chewy or anything, but at 5.6%, it's kind of hard to achieve that with a proper grain bill to get it to be that nice chewy consistency or just the thicker style IPA. But it's still got really good mouthfeel. As far as as far as flavor on this bad boy, I mean, this is up there with the best of them. Being single hop Citra, I recently had a fresh batch of Zombie Dust that I freaking loved. Zombie Dust had kind of not been the same for me, and I think that was just my palate changing a little bit with drinking like 4 Point from Trillium and Lights On and Curiosity 26 and 23 and some of the pale ale ones that they've done at Treehouse. And some of those just, like more flavorful pale ales. But the last batch of Zombie Dust I had, I thought was killer. Actually reminds me a little bit of this, except this is just amped up in flavor. The Citra just is even more amplified than that beer was. I mean, the flavor profile in this beer is amazing. I mean, this is up there with those beers. I mean, I would typically most days say that my favorite pale ale is Lights On from Treehouse. 4 Point's amazing. I'll listen to all those arguments. They're all amazing beers. There's a few others that I've had that are freaking killer, but this is right there in that discussion. This is OG pseudo for sure, but even kicked up even a little bit from what I remember. I mean, if they canned this, I would trade for it all the time. Wow. Man, that's good. This almost reminds me of this is forward enough and is aromatic enough that it reminds me it's a different hop, but when I will never forget the day that Erik and I and Barry and Joel and some other guys had Sosis on tap for Morning Delight Day. That beer was insane and still in my mind one of my favorite IPAs I've ever had, or double IPAs. This is just as flavor forward as that was. Yeah, as this is warming up a smidge, it's coming out even more. This is just a huge tropical pineapple, mango, peach. I mean, all those fruits. Great yeast profile. I mean, I'm getting some sweetness from that, even like a little bubblegum aspect. And then this is a Citra showcase. If you like Citra hops, you will freaking love this beer. It is incredible. As far as the score, for a pale ale, it's... I can't give something like this 100 just because the mouthfeel's not quite there. It's not as forward in some of the flavors, but that's because that's inherent of a beer that's just over 5%, right? I mean, there's just certain things you can't do with a beer until you get, as you add flavor and profile and elements to it, as you get the ABV up. So, with that said, this is a world-class pale ale to me. This is like a 98. 98, 99. I'm going to let it warm up a little bit more and give my final grade at the end of the video. But it's going to be right there, 98, 99. If this continues to get even a little bit better, it's going to be a 99 probably for me. This is killer stuff. Wow. Impressive stuff. Erik, thank you very much. Thank you. So yeah, we'll leave it there on the beer, guys. Toppling Goliath, pseudoSue out of Decorah, Iowa, double dry hopped. The way you can tell on those bottles, I had to actually ask Erik because I couldn't find it on the label. He also sent me Galaxy dry hopped pseudoSue, which I will do a review of as well. But it actually said Galaxy on the label, so I couldn't tell. But it's actually on the neck. Mine's a little faded and kind of smudged, so I couldn't really tell, but I can tell it says something long there, so I'm assuming that's where it says double dry hop. So it's on the neck on that for anybody that's curious if you're trading for it or looking for some, because I know it's still hitting shelves up there from time to time. That's how you check it out. So we'll leave it there with the beer review. I know I've mentioned it a few times in my videos, but the logo is done. I don't know if I'll have it like in this video in the intro or anything. I may wait a little bit until I add that, start putting that in videos, but I do have some stuff ordered. I did promise you guys I was going to give away some glasses, and reached out to Yopeners. These things, they look odd, but they are freaking, this is the best bottle opener I have. It doesn't bend caps. Like, I took that cap off. Where's the Toppling cap? Sorry, there's a couple bottle caps on here. I don't know, whatever I did with it. Toppling. There's no bend in that, no nothing. This is the best bottle opener I've ever had. Plus, it has a wax cutter on it, and is awesome. So I am actually I have ordered these as well with my logo etched in them. They're made out of bourbon barrel. So I had the choice between red wine and bourbon, so I went with bourbon. But yeah, no, so they'll be on their way. I should have those in like 2 to 3 weeks from yesterday, and my glassware will be here next week. So we'll have all that, finish that up today, so we'll have those here really soon. So I'll give away a few of those away. I'm also going to sell them. So I did buy quite a few glasses that I'll be selling, probably shipped around $15, I would imagine. You can buy multiples to save on shipping, stuff like that. So I'm going to be getting those, and I'll sell the openers as well with my logo on them. So, but I'll be giving some away as well to people, so that'll be fun. So anyways, guys, that's enough rambling about the channel. Thank you guys for everything. Thanks for coming behind the bar and checking out Toppling Goliath Double Dry Hopped pseudoSue. Erik, again, thank you very much. As always, guys, thank you for the likes, subscribes, and comments. Until next time.